Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What's going on, guys? Welcome back, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to hit the thumbs up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're getting ready to get into a little bit of celebrity news, a little bit of Who watched the interview? If you watched the interview, put one in the chat. Hey guys. All right, let me go to let me see. I did a little bit of, I was going to do this on OSIP, but I decided to come over here. What's going on, guys? You know what? I also did this too because I wanted to talk about that. The ghetto mom, the ghetto grandma situation going on, or mom's girl, a mess. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Anyway, y'all, look at Carlos King face. You know he is so messy, right? But that first of all, this is the first lie, okay? Because I actually watched, it was almost 2 hours. We're not going to get through it at all. But I watched an hour. I'm at 1 hour and 23 minutes. I had to cook dinner, took a shower, I talked on the phone a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like lived my life around the house, trying to get through this. First of all, this is my question. Why did he tell that man he was worth $6 million? I'm sorry. Homie said he's worth $6 million. That's the first lie. Okay. I don't believe it for a minute. I just don't. Where? Girl, he didn't even have to interview though. Like, first of all, let me say this. If you haven't watched this yet, we're going to watch a little bit. If you haven't seen this, Christian Gold, aka Christian, hold on. Sorry, hold on a second. Damn Christian Walden, Christian LaSalle. Why did he say he was a Amazon best-selling author? Girl, I said offer. Why did he say he was an Amazon best-selling author? I was like, hold on.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I was like, sir, you didn't know you weren't supposed to leave Georgia?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Hold on a second. You didn't know you weren't supposed to get on a plane and leave the United States?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Come on now. Can you stop? And then Jennifer, do you know what this was? This was a cleanup on aisle Jen. This is on the Jennifer aisle. This is Jennifer. It's like somebody like on some New Jersey. I would love to say, Jennifer, sis, you don't have to do all this. It is not required for you as a woman of a certain age to continue to play cleanup for these bums that you like to entertain. Sis. Come on now. She said he looked like Chris Brown. Did y'all, whoever watched this, she said she saw him and everything just kind of stopped. Girl. She said he looked like Chris Brown. I was like, what? Not that because he looked like Chris Brown. And then she called the guy from the bar, her friend, the Jennifer, her friend who works at the bar at Nobu. which we already knew this. We've heard this before. If you have been watching, which I'd been watching Jennifer and CG, um, we have been reacting to some of the videos. So we've already heard this story. And if you watch Basketball Wives, you heard the story. Her friend, I don't believe it for a minute. I think that she goes to this restaurant enough that she knows this guy who worked at the bar. What's his name? Amari? Um, girl. Somebody who works at the bar. Okay. So she's friend with a guy who works at the bar, who's friends with Chris for 15 years. Okay. And you are calling him up and saying, "What's up with light skin?" That's what she said. She said, "What's up with light skin?" I was like, I don't have it on this one, but hold on, let me see. I got to wait. Jennifer, baby, you, Jennifer, I think, Jen, you might have played yourself, sis. That's on some my man, my man, my man. That's on some Jennifer, seriously? Mm-mm-mm. It's a hot damn mess. And you're supposed to be getting married. And he may not be able to leave the country. He might be in jail, girl. What y'all think? Shall I'm gonna drop the should I drop do you guys want to watch a little bit? Maybe we should watch a little bit. And then if y'all want to give your 2 cents, I'll drop the call in because this is a mess, y'all. It's a whole mess. And he's got a warrant out for his arrest. Shall I go on? I feel like it's just like, damn, this is a whole hot damn mess. I don't know what she thought that interview did. What do you guys think the interview did anything? Amari? Is it Amari? Or I don't know. It's something with the A. Went to school together. Okay, so he might know him from Jersey. He's from Jersey. Okay. Um, is he from Jersey too? He's from Jersey or New York or something. He's not from Atlanta. He lived in Atlanta, I think, a good portion of time, but he's from up top too. It made her look worse. It would have been one thing if he would have come onto Carlos King by himself, but what would have been the point? Because it's like, who is he without Jennifer? Nobody knows who he is, right? Um, and the funny thing is he changed his name on Instagram. Not to say you can't change your name on Insta, but the funny thing is that he used to be Lord Investor. And most of my screenshots, like back when they first came out with that life sentence with Jennifer and CG, um, he had on there Lord Investor. He took all that mess up off of his Instagram. All that mess is gone. And I'm thinking to myself, if people don't know, if you're in some sort of trouble, let me just say this. If you're in some sort of trouble, just know that the new is that people are going, like, even if people are reporting on you, they are reporting on you and they are telling all about your social media. He's so arrogant. Look at this. To all my ladies out there, may you get a king, a ring, and some ding-a-ling. Jennifer, congratulations, baby. You just got a bum. To all my ladies out there, may you get a king, a ring, and some ding-a-ling. Amen. Your very own CG. Your king is out there. I promise you. Stop seeking it and just remain in position. God bless all our queens.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
That's her husband. Yeah. That's her husband to be. I would be like, if you don't get that shit off your Instagram, this is business, sir. This is business. Like when you got with me, this turned to business. And this is what you're posting on your Instagram on July 20th, a month ago today. This is what we're posting on our Instagram, and you're getting ready to be the husband of Miss Jennifer Williams. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Doing photo shoots for nothing for some merch. It's like $6 million where? Oh, right there with Jennifer, maybe. Jennifer's $6 million. What kind of tattoo is this on his leg, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm so distracted because I look, he's a bum. Look at this tattoo on his leg. Guys with silly tattoos are a waste of time. Look at this. I don't even know what that is. Somebody who is startled. It looks like I don't even know what that is. He would have to tell us because at first I'm thinking, is that Muhammad Ali? What is that? Is that, I don't know. Then he's got a tiger. He's got some mess going on. Okay. Oops. Look what someone put on here. Girl, look at the comment. The storm is coming. Okay. Girl, Jennifer, we told you to run a year ago. Don't say you were not warned, ma'am. Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let me go back. Okay. Um So, you guys know they have been planning a very elaborate Parisian wedding for quite some time now. They've been going back and forth to France. They've been vacationing, all of the things. They've been in Paris. They've been in Switzerland. They've been in Italy. And Sir's probation documentation, according to this warrant, states, hold on a second. Let me read it to you the way I have it posted. Um, hold up. It basically states, it's on my community post. I was gonna buy the transcript, but I didn't know if you guys wanted it or not. I feel like I don't know her first name, but she's a lawyer. She's over there with Al Reynolds' channel. Girl, is that legal? I don't know if she read the whole transcript or not. Like a week or so ago. Um, but I don't know if you guys want to go through that or not. Transcripts are interesting. Um, the defendant left the state of Georgia without permission. The defendant's fiance has posted on her social media page that indicated her and the defendant have been to Switzerland and they have dates, Italy. So Switzerland 7-6, Italy 7-2. The defendant did not get permission to travel internationally. Condition and due to leaving the state of Georgia without permission from the community supervision officer. He's got a warrant for his arrest in DeKalb County. And this is going back from the conviction. This was signed on August 8th, 2024 in DeKalb County. It's a warrant for his arrest. So it's not even the whole investing thing. And apparently there's some stuff with the investing too. He kind of answered to that in the interview. Like, I think he's definitely got his Simone. Thank you. I feel like he is answering to the comments, but not answering to the comments. You know what I mean? Like, I think he is painfully aware of what is going on in the comments and what is being said, but he didn't answer anything specific. Sherry Shepherd looks amazing. Even though I don't watch the show because I'm still like, I'm not watching the old Wendy show anymore. Like, but Sherry, is that Sherry Shepherd? I think that's her. She looks amazing if that's her. I feel like that looks like, hold on. I think her and Sherry Shepherd are actually really good friends. Is that Sherry Shepherd, y'all? Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, let's see what she said. Standing ovation for my bestie and my Gigi, who put together an amazing bridal shower in New York, one of my favorite Paris restaurants. It's made its way to New York. Joy, you are a joy and a gem. I'm blessed beyond measure to have you in my life. Thank you, everyone who took their time and day to come out and celebrate Road to Gold. I guess that's their hashtag for the wedding. We had a blast. The gift bags included some of my favorite things from Paris: scarves from Hermes, Maison Ladourie, macarons, Moet champagne, caviar. Again, Joy, you outdid yourself. Shout out to New York makeup artist for this sew in, of course, and the 30-inch bundles. Okay, she had to shout out everybody. Thank you, Lord Investor, for surprising me with beautiful florals. So I get, maybe he was in New York. I don't know. You make such a beautiful bride, baby. I love you for eternity. Wife looks amazing. Look, since they're going to get married overseas, I mean, the gag could be they could already be married. Let's be real, because they're getting married in a foreign country. And to be married here in the United States, they're going to have to do a civil ceremony here, because any marriage license, I mean, they're not getting married in the United States, technically, right? Um, they could already be married. They're already over here oogling and ogling on the internet, calling each other husband and wife. So, like I said, the gag is they could already be married, or they may get married in the States. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from getting married, but there is something stopping them from going to Europe to get married, right? Um, that's all I'm saying. Girl, when she said she saw him and the room stopped and she was just like, she was mesmerized, and she said he was giving Chris Brown. I was like, sis, really? And I think she said, so at the time he was 30, she was 48, maybe getting ready to be 49, but I think she's going to be 50 this year. I wonder if they were planning to get married on her birthday, because they said the middle of September. And I think her birthday is like soon after mine, but this is when they were in Europe. And I think she just, look, this is my impression of Jen. She likes a guy who likes to dress up like she does, someone who likes to, showboat and do things like kiss in public, PDA. He'll put on a tuxedo. I mean, he looks nice in his clothes. Like, he's the kind of guy that he'll put the tuxedo on for you. He likes to dress up. He likes to showboat. I think he likes to do Jen. And I think that that makes her happy, is to have somebody who wants to kind of like do like what she likes to do like the showboat type stuff. Do you guys remember a long time ago, like maybe when not their reality show, but when they started doing YouTube? A couple of you guys, I have to find it because maybe someone either said it in the comments or you guys said it in in a live stream, but some of you guys said it was Shirley and Nesto. I was like, y'all, is someone saying that again? Girl, this not the first time y'all have said that. But yeah, their little Jen and CG. First they called it Life Sentence with Jen and CG, and that was when we first got the whiff. I mean, it didn't take but 2 minutes into their YouTube channel to know, homie, had just got out of jail. Okay. That he was a whole jailbird, right? And then it was all of the nonsense to ensue after that. Jen likes to dress, obviously. Homie likes to dress also. This is what they enjoy doing, getting all, getting dressed up, wearing fashion. Fashion is his passion. We know Jennifer enjoys fashion as well. So happy birthday to my forever. So what you find out in the interview is that Jennifer gave him now what is it called? She gave him a Rolex for his birthday. And what was it called? Girl, I'm not even up on it. It was something. We'll see it in there. Basically, I looked it up and on the conservative side, it's maybe $25,000. Okay? Okay? You see this? Oh, hold on. You see this bling bling on his wrist? And look what they did. Girl, why does it look like he's got overlay on his finger? Do you see this? Maybe you can't see, but it's giving a little bit of overlay, but they've already done the tattoos. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. I would be devastated if my dream was to have my Paris oui oui croissant macaroon chandon la durée, all of the things, Eiffel Tower, all of the things French wedding. And because my fiance is on probation and now that is canceled, I don't know how I would feel. Now that looks like they're either in Chicago. Is that Dubai? Like where are they? All those bridges reminds me of Chicago, so I don't know where they are. But if he wasn't supposed to leave Georgia, he was already out of order, right? Because the warrant states that he left the state of Georgia. Okay. And if you're standing there with all those bridges, I don't think that's all they need to do is search this timeline. And it's quite obvious that this summer was not the first time that he left Georgia with no permission on probation. And now y'all can't go get married where you want to go get married. Ew. Do you see that? Jennifer, what is in your ear? Okay. Okay. Anyway. Okay, Jen. Okay. Look at this. He'll wear anything. Oh, you want me to wear that? Sure, why not? It's fashion. Fashion is his passion. All right, let's get to the interview. Let me stop. Okay, let's go over here. Hold on a second. Where's my girl? Okay. Uh All right, this is where I left off, but we're just gonna try and dip in here and there. This is another thing. So the interview started, right? And they were talking about how they met. Jen told the story about how they met, the guy, the friend, all of the things. He started to ask Christian about basically what happened. Like what's going on? Why are we where we're at today? Let me tell you something. Am I lying, guys? Whoever watched this, did Christian not talk literally for 30 minutes straight? I went to check. I validated. Carlos King asked him a question at like 27 minutes and he went until the top of the hour. Like he literally went for 30 minutes explaining how he ended up with a felony and his baby mother feeling like she needed to jump off of a 4-story out of a 3 or 4-story window. Have any of you guys ever felt compelled, like short of there being a fire or somebody coming after you? Clearly, the girl was afraid for her life, which is probably why she jumped out the window, I would imagine. I don't know. And still didn't answer the question. Let's give them a chance. Girl, did I maybe let's see if we can if it's gonna be too fast. Now, this was weird. So yeah, let's just get into it.
else. Then we went somewhere else. Armani had recently moved.
11 o'clock a.m.
So Armani, that's the name. So they're telling the story. If you guys are familiar with this couple, you've already heard the story. Jen was out and about. She was at Nobu. He's been friends with a guy who works at Nobu, the bartender or some sort of a server bartender who works at Nobu. She was at Nobu and he comes in. That's how they meet. Pretty much end of story.
Yes.
Oh, you was getting in early, honey, at Four Seasons.
Well, I had a meeting. so so then it was like the day just progressed. And so Armani had recently moved. And I was like, oh my God, like I had never seen your place. Like, let's go, you know? So at the time they were living in the same building. And so I don't know, we never even made it to Armani's apartment, which you met Armani.
Mhm.
And we ended up going to the rooftop. They have a really beautiful rooftop on this building. And we were just like there. One of their other neighbors was there and we were drinking wine. He comes off the elevator. I think you saw me before I saw you. I'm not really sure because I think my back was turned. And him and Armani spoke. So now we're just all on the rooftop drinking wine. I was like, you know, here's the thing. You see somebody attractive, you acknowledge that. And I was like, oh, you know, like obviously he's attractive. I wasn't looking at it from a, oh, I might want to fuck with him. It wasn't like that, you know?
Because girls know instantly, like, dude, you stand no chance. So when you first saw Christian, were you like, oh, I would, you know?
No, I wasn't thinking that, honestly, because I was not in that headspace. Like, I wasn't in a headspace of looking for a partner, looking for a
at that moment, but it didn't take like 20 minutes after they all had the nice little meeting, the little glasses of, you know, the little kind of chill on the rooftop that he's calling the friend and she's calling the friend asking what's up with each other. That's the
relationship.
story.
So I wasn't thinking like, oh yeah, I want to fuck him. That definitely was not my initial thoughts. We had conversation. The conversation, I was actually talking about my documentary. And so when I talk about that, I'm very vulnerable because it's something that is important.
So the documentary she did with Angela Yee about the guy who scammed her. If you guys remember when the scam thing happened, like during the pandemic, remember when Nene Leakes used to go live from her bedroom? I think this was well before Greg died. Greg was probably sick back then, but Greg was still in the house, I believe. She was upstairs in the house. And there was a time, I wonder if it's still on Nene's channel. I need to go back and look, but it was such a good, it was a good interview, but Nene was like, girl, what happened? And Jennifer told the whole story about how she met that guy and he conned her out of her Range Rover. And it was like, what? How did that happen again? So, did you see that when she was over at Nene's house? And then she's told the story several times. And the funny thing is that when she did the documentary with Angela Yee, they did kind of a reenactment of her going to court. And basically, the guy, if you remember the guy, Nesto's first lawyer, James Patterson, the Bentley attorney, he was that scammer dude's lawyer. I don't know if I don't even know how that court case turned out, to be quite honest, because it was the way it was filmed. It was filmed on some like Lifetime movie type stuff rather than just sitting down telling the story and telling what happened. They stretched it out into 2 episodes. and they had some they really stretched it out, and I lost interest after into the second episode, and I never watched the ending. People who feel the need to run on and on, filling in superficial details, are usually lying. Boom.
Important to me,
Okay.
just even spreading the message. Like I always said, I wanted to do it to have an impact. So we were talking about the conversation, and then I don't know if it like drifted off to something
So
else.
you're sitting there talking to Armani, and you are going on and telling Armani, who's a personal friend who happens to know this dude who is called a scammer all around town, that you are finishing up your documentary about how you've been scammed. Girl,
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I wonder if Armani set you up.
else, but it's almost like all these people in the room and I'm just talking to you, but he has my energy. You know what I mean? So it was
You're sitting here talking about how you just got scammed by another man, which is something you don't want a man to ever know. You know what I mean? If you're healing, if you're getting past it, why would you want some new guy to know that you got played for a fool? Not that there's anything wrong with that, or anything to be ashamed of, but that's one of the to the grave things. Or maybe when I know you better, you don't go into a relationship telling how your last relationship you just got conned, and how your last, you know what I mean? Like, girl, all of the criminals that you date, okay? I mean, that's on the heels of, or somewhere in between. I think after that happened, she was with Tim Norman, wasn't she? Or she was with Tim Norman before then, and then rolled into the guy that stole the Range Rover. And then now she's got this dude. It's like, Jennifer, come on now. Girl, are you okay?
it's just it was that. So then I'm kind of like, okay, what something's like that's when I was like, what's going on here? Anyway, because I had been out all day, I was like, okay, you know what? It's getting late. Like, let me go home. So when I got home, I texted Armani and I don't what were my exact words, babe? Because you said I didn't say that. I thought I said, what's up with light skin?
You know, Armani had exaggerated a little bit. I think we pretty much
It was like simultaneous.
Yeah. It was like she sent the message, but I sent one. And my message was because going up to the rooftop, I was just leaving therapy. So I had my therapist come to the house that day. It was a very rough day for me, and I take therapy very serious. So after therapy, I'll make a drink and I go to the rooftop by the fire pit and reflect, right? Had no intentions of meeting Jennifer. Definitely wasn't in the space to date. I was just like, work on Christian, get right, hence therapy. And once we left from having that 3-hour long conversation, I think all of us, I text Armani and I said, did you see what I saw? Like, because me and Armani been knowing each other 15 years. I'm like, did you see what I saw? Did you feel the energy? He was like, I did. Come to my apartment. And at the same time, she's like, what's his story? So
when you first saw Jennifer, did you know who she was? That she was the Jennifer Williams?
Yeah, like I've never watched the show, you know what I mean? But I knew exactly who she was.
Okay. And what was your, prior to that 3-hour conversation, did you have a perception of who Jennifer was? Like, is she this like, bougie woman?
I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so he was 28 or 29. She was 48 or something of that nature. Yeah, girl, hips. So she'll be 50 this birthday. Okay, so she's September 17th. Okay, I think they were going to get married on her birthday because they said middle of September. Why? I mean, why not? Right? 50. And I think he turned 30 this year. The math is not mathing. I feel like there's some fudging on these birthdays, but I think she's got to be like 19 years older. And some may not feel like that's a big deal. I think that if you have to lie or fudge a little bit, it's a problem for somebody.
And is she in a relationship? She's been like, did you have any preconceived
You
notions
think
about
she's
Jennifer?
fraud?
No, I knew she was class. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jennifer Williams, if I ever see her come across my explore page or anything like that, it's just like, this is just a powerful Black woman that has class.
So we know how algorithms work. So men, I'm not going to say men, let's just say specific. Your algorithm, your Explorer page is coming up with what you search. So he says if on his Explorer page, if Jennifer Williams comes by, are you searching basketball wives? Are you searching reality women? Are you searching prominent women in, well, they say 1974. So she's actually going to be 50 this year. So I think it's 19 years. She's going to be 50 this year. She'll be 50 next month. You know what I'm saying? Like this is I think Armani set them up. I think it was I'm upstairs, Jennifer's up here, and you are so her type because she is jonesing over Chris Brown. So come on up. Okay.
And to still the question you asked her, when I saw Jen, I just saw Armani's friend. You know what I mean? I didn't say, oh, that's gonna be my wife, or I want to fuck her. You know what I mean? I didn't have that in my head.
Why? Okay, so you're not an actor. You are a supporting boyfriend who is now kind of in this thing a little bit, right? Why would you think it's a good idea on the Carlos King show? In perspective, right? But he is a I mean, he's been instrumental in this Real Housewives thing and all of the things, right? Why would you say I didn't know? Was it that I wanted to F her? Like, so
Especially at
crass,
that time
right?
of what I was going
Listen,
through. So for I want to fuck her. You know what I mean? I didn't have that in my
is that something?
Armani's
Look at
friend. You know what I
Jennifer's
mean? I didn't
face.
say, oh, that's gonna be my wife, or I want to fuck her. You know what I mean? I didn't have that in my head, especially at that time of what I
Did you see how she just froze? Like, oh shit, did he just say that? Like, this is work, Christian.
was going through. So
Were
after
you,
that,
were you in a relationship at the time you saw Jen?
I had literally just gotten out of one with my children's mother.
That the same day or that?
No,
recently?
before.
Okay.
You know that Jodeci song, I'm a single man now that you're single too? Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you. And he says, I'm a single man now that you are single too. Hello? I was newly single. Okay, yeah. Let me get back to my apartment so I can break up with sis because I just met my new thing. Okay. I think it was on some I'm single. Yeah, you're single. Yeah, I'm single too.
Before. So we met in December. I was out of my relationship the end of September.
Okay.
Lies.
So, it was complicated. And that was
The lie
at that
detective.
time. But it was like this gravitational pull, man. It was a gravitational pull with that conversation. And the next thing you know, we exchanged number. Well, we didn't exchange numbers, but I always say when she left and we walked her to her car that night when she left our
I can believe
apartment,
it.
the hug we gave each other wasn't a church hug. It wasn't
like
that.
the ass this lane. Like,
no. Like our faces were like in each other's neck. And that's why we got into the fragrance talk, because we both love fragrance. And I was just like, wow, you smelled amazing. This is when we start texting or whatever. And yeah, we start texting, and it was gradual, small talk, and then that turned into a first date.
what was your first date at?
So you just meet the guy. You guys are on the rooftop talking. Everyone's drinking wine. And it's 3 hours. The conversation's over. You guys hug, and he's got his nose all up nuzzled into your neck. What? And then she calls Armani and says, "What's up with light skin?" Okay.
Her favorite, can you guess?
Nobu? Ah, my girl with expensive taste.
It was 6 hours. So we met on a Friday. That Saturday, we had talked about getting together, but I didn't leave my house just because I had been out all day Friday. Like I was just exhausted. So Sunday, I was just doing some running around because I was going to New York that Monday. And I was already at Nobu actually, because at the time Armani worked at Nobu, and I was like running around. I hadn't ate. So I was like at the bar, just like grabbing a bite, talking to him. And then he was like, maybe we should grab a drink at Nobu. And I was like, oh, funny you say that. I'm already here.
I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
So his friend of 15 years is a bartender or again, works at Nobu where Jennifer likes to go. Okay. So Jennifer's friends with somebody who works at the restaurant, right? Um, she's there hanging out. He calls all of a sudden and she says, I'm at Nobu and he's on the way. Armani orchestrated this whole thing. And maybe he felt like, okay, but you see where Jennifer is at, and don't get me wrong, Jennifer is she's a reality show celebrity. She is a woman who's, been married to she's married to and all the things. She's, I don't know. Like, I think she's a very beautiful woman and all the things. I don't do anything wrong mingling with somebody who works at the restaurant, but you are friends with somebody who works at the restaurant and one of the bartenders, and you basically got fixed up with one of I am really you got fixed up with the bartender's friend. My mic is going out. Hold on, let me see. What is going on? Oh, maybe it wasn't all the way plugged in. Am I good? Is that better? Is that better? Hold on. Am I better now? Yes? Okay. It felt like it wasn't all the way plugged in, so my bad, y'all. Okay, thank you for telling me. Um, I don't know. I just think that I don't want to say the help and sound like that's a bad thing, but most of these women like are not going to all of a sudden date the bartender's friend. Is that a little bit like also of a certain age? Okay. This is a woman, a mature woman of a certain age, and you are hanging with the bartender of your favorite restaurant. Okay. And I don't know how old this guy is, but his friend that he's known for 15 years is almost 20 years younger than you. That is not necessarily like marriage material, right? Maybe for somebody, but a woman who like Jennifer, who presents herself a certain way, you would think that that would not be the case. I'm just saying. A woman who says she's allergic to broke, you would never see. Marjorie would never. Okay. You said it sounds like a Steve Harvey Marjorie hookup. Big boom set them up. But Marjorie today is probably not Marjorie from 25 years ago. Marjorie from 25 years ago is going to date the up and coming comedian. Marjorie today, who is married to a man who may have billion-dollar influence, she wouldn't do that today. Marjorie at 60 is different from Marjorie at 30. Marjorie was trying to get to where she is right now. So you know what I'm saying? Marjorie had plans. Okay.
So we started off at the bar. We were chatting at the bar. So now when he walks into Nobu, this is when I really see Christian, because
no hoodie, no nothing.
No hoodie. His hair was like this peach color. And I was like, okay.
Stop it. You said Marjorie today looks like George Jefferson. Stop it.
Hey, it was, I hate to say this because it's just so like cliche. But
okay, let's get to the good part. We all know how they met. You guys know this. Right around here, Carlos is going to ask him about his legal troubles. This guy literally talks his ass off. Okay, hold on a second. He really, I'm not going to lie, he literally talks nonstop for 30 minutes. Let's go.
And I think, I don't know when we saw each other when I got back from New York. I think I went somewhere else after that.
You went to St. Louis.
It's about, your career or your scammer. There's tons of things that are being attached to you. So I want you to have the opportunity to tell people, like, where are you from? Were you born and raised in Atlanta? Are you from another state?
Yeah, New York and raised here all my life.
Single mom or both
Single
parents?
Single mom. My dad, love my father. And every child wants their parents to be together, but they co-parented very well. But I give credit to my mother. you know, and that's the reason why my mother, and she loves Jennifer. That woman taught me how to treat and respect a woman, because I watched my mother be verbally abused. Verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. You know what I mean? So yeah,
He's talking about too much stuff. Like, Jen, did you not tell him before you got there, just answer the questions? Like, that is a skill. And he talks too much. What was the question again? Carlos, what was the question?
that are being attached to you. So I want you to have the opportunity to tell people, like, where are you from? Were you born and raised in Atlanta? Are you from another state?
yeah, New York, and raised here all my life.
Single mom or both
Single
parents?
mom.
Single mom.
My dad, you know, love my father. And every child wants their parents to be together, but they co-parented very well. But I give credit to my mother, you know, and that's the reason why my mother, and she loves Jennifer. That woman taught me how to treat and respect a woman, because I watched my mother be verbally abused. Verbal abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. You know what I mean? So yeah, that correlated to as I became a man, and you know, I've been through some toxic relationships. You know what I mean? And being young, being dumb, being stupid, you know, what I think is love really wasn't love at that time. But you know, God takes us through, you know, certain paths and situations to land us with that special someone, whoever it may be, right? So yeah.
Look at Carlos's face. Like, okay, are we gonna have to cut this out? Like, are we gonna have to edit this? Like, what's going on here?
Went to school at SCAD, got a degree in fashion. So, like I said, I've spent all my life in Atlanta. Got a degree in fashion. This is after 2 full ride scholarships to play ball, tore my ACL, PCL.
What type of
basketball?
Basketball, okay.
Senior year.
Can they fact check that? Like, how? So he had 2 full ride scholarships.
For my ACL, PCL, and meniscus, and of course that's out the door. Backup plan. I've always loved fashion. I just love the feel of it. You know what I mean? Got a full ride to SCAD, and you know, pursued that. At the same time, I'm working full time in corporate America. So of course, you know, my load was super crazy, and that
Girl, he was working at like the AT&T call center. He was like, all of this happening, and he's like, and I was 20 years old. I was 19 years old. Who? What?
that time I was with I had a girlfriend at the time, and this is from high school. High school carried into college.
Your high school sweetheart carried, okay.
Yes, different schools, but high school
Mhm.
sweetheart. And yeah, you know, at first it was great, you know, butterflies and all that stuff, and you know, things got bad because at that time, Carlos, I was arrogant. It's like I was making great money. I was in school. I went to school. I mean, I went to go get a real estate license. Right, I'm just like leveling up. Because I saw my mom not struggle, but I saw my mom do everything for me and my brother. She never said no. Like she would grind if she had to get a second job, work from home. Aside from her corporate career, she would make sure we got to our AAU games. You know what I mean? She'll make sure she was just a dynamic mother. You know what I mean? And one thing I respect about my mother.
He's, you know, I think he really has to, he wants to measure up. And I think, you know, Jennifer's parents were professionals, you know, very, very middle class, you know, had what she wanted, went to good schools, lived in a nice area, all of the things. It is okay, Christian, if that's not where you came from. It's okay. You don't have to overcompensate and romanticize the story for us about your mom bending over backwards, because look what happened. Your mom bent over backwards for you and you ended up in the penitentiary. Okay. Now he says he's worth $6 million, but I don't really believe it. Um, Bending over your back over backwards for your kids is not necessarily a flex. It could backfire on you. Sometimes your kids don't need to get everything. Sometimes you got to flex that no. No is a very loving thing. You don't want to spoil your kids to where you're going to go visit them on the weekends in the penitentiary.
My mother always told me and my brother, my older brother, we're 4 years apart. She said, "The woman you marry, I want her to be better than me." And she's looked at Jennifer in her eyes and said, "You have met that.
Mm.
You've met that."
He's such a liar. I doubt that the lady said that.
Right. So, you know, going back to, you know, the upbringing, of course, finished school, got a bachelor's, and then I decided to leave corporate America at
Did Did Carlos King ask him to run down his resume? Girl, he was working for AT&T. He might have been at a damn AT&T store, okay?
20. This is around the time.
He says that he got a bachelor's degree and he was working in corporate America and he said he was 20. See, Jennifer is sitting there like, this is not adding up. So you're telling us that you graduated like at 16 years old, 16-ish? So you got your bachelor's, how and when? Girl, he was working. He didn't say the call center, but he said he was working for AT&T. Doing what? You were at the credit card, one of the credit card locations when they used to have, remember they used to have AT&T Universal cards?
I had a situation with my ex-girlfriend at the time. And like I said, at that time, I do admit and I'm accountable for my arrogance, right?
I know Jennifer is sitting there like, baby, they did not ask you that question. Just answer the question. Why is it so? He just goes on and on.
Argument based off the arrogance, right?
You're arrogant.
My arrogance.
And when you say you were arrogant, in what way?
I wasn't like, effing people over or anything like that. It was just like, oh, my parents can't tell me anything. You can't tell me anything. Referring to my ex-girlfriend. No one. I'm making $130,000-$140,000 a year.
You're sitting there talking, opens up about scammer allegations, prison sentence, day trading, and if $250,000 is paid off. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe Carlos went with shit. Like, maybe I don't know. Let me be quiet.
19 years old. Like, you can't tell me nothing, right?
So he's 19 now. He just said he was 20 and graduated from college, but now he's saying he's 19. Which one is it, sir?
Anything like that. It was just like, oh, my parents can't tell me anything. You can't tell me anything. Referring to my ex-girlfriend. No one. I'm making $130,000-$140,000 a year at 19 years old. Like, you can't.
So you're making $140,000 a year at 19 years old, working in corporate America, and he said he just graduated. He got a bachelor's degree. I'm gonna have to.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Can't tell me nothing, right? I'm out popping bottles in the club, living the dream as people see it, right? At this
bottles in the club, and you're 19.
Very young age. This is 2012, 2013. So we were living together. And I made sure.
Did he ask you? He said, "How did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Tell us that." And he's so ready to clear his name. He was waiting for Carlos to just look at him and give him a chance to really freestyle talk. And he just went for it.
That, she
was working in the mall at the AT&T store.
Like a year and a half. At the time, I wanted her to discover and find what she wanted to do, whatever her passion was. So of course, I got her first job, and we would come and go every single day. We would pretty much meet at home because my schedule was busy. And of course, she was going back and forth to work. This specific day, we were actually transferring to a new apartment. So they did renovations, and this is like the garden style apartment at the time in Brookhaven. And, I get home, I legally go buy wine, right? This is the truth.
At this time, you're 19 still?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Yeah.
Right, so I buy wine.
I thought he said he was 20. Didn't he say he was 20?
Well, they just didn't check my ID, right? So I stop at the store, get some wine, whatever, go home, because I text her and
Jennifer, let me just say something. This is supposed to be a fun time in your life. I think this is her second marriage, right? You are getting married, having your dream wedding in Paris. You've got a beautiful diamond ring. Maybe she paid for it. I don't know. Your man is sitting there going down memory lane with your friend, your colleague, your situation, your reputation, and this man you're supposed to be marrying can't shut the fuck up. And he's talking about his shenanigans, acting less than a gentleman with a whole nother woman that really doesn't have anything to do with you, other than how are you going to help your husband to be get the hell up out of this mess? And he can't shut up. He talks too much.
was like, listen, let's talk about upcoming finances. Not that I wanted her to pay anything, but of course, with my partner, I want to communicate that stuff, right? We're transferring to a new apartment. It's more now, right? So she was like, okay, I'll be home
So on the day you're moving, that's when you decide to get into an argument about money.
at a certain time. She gets home, we're sitting down, and we're talking, we're going over everything about, you know, the move and, you know, life coming up. And, you know, of course, I'm asking her, like, what's next for you? What do you want to do? Do I need help? And at that point, it just got heated. And I didn't understand it at that time of why, but maturity had to get me to that point of when I look back at it, right? I understood why she blew up. She had every reason to. Because
He's told this story on Basketball Wives. He's told this story on their YouTube channel. I don't understand why Jennifer's PR people did not sit him down and give him about 3 sentences to say what he needed to say quickly and concisely and not embarrass her once again. But you know what? I'm just going to say Jennifer is embarrassing herself because she chose this guy because he was hot in her mind and looked like Chris Brown. Okay? That's how she selected this guy, and he likes fashion, and you know, he's enamored with her.
no one wants to deal with a partner where you can't tell him anything. It's supposed to be a partnership. You know what I mean? And I know we weren't married or anything, but it's still a partnership. So, you know, things blew up, and, you know, my charge was false imprisonment. And what that means is, well, I can speak for the state of Georgia. What that means is she's yelling. Of course, the neighbors are knocking on the door.
So you guys are having a heated argument.
It's a heated argument.
And as you were trying to go over the finances and figure out all that stuff,
This is when she blew up. And
yeah, because she felt like you were just being dismissive to her, or just okay.
One thing I've grown to understand about women, they want you to sit and not just listen. They want you to understand.
Not Chris
You see what
Tan.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing in hearing and then actually listening and understanding. And at that time, I'm immature, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh man, like whatever I say goes type of thing. You know what I mean? And when I look back at it, I'm like, she had every right to blow up on me because she felt as I was being dismissive. Like, and that turned into, you know what? I'm gonna leave. Mind you, we were during the conversation, we're consuming alcohol. So my tolerance is cool, but at the time her tolerance wasn't as, you know, but we're drinking, and she wanted to leave. And I was like, no, it happens every day in every
Girl, it sounds like George Torres and damn Sarah Boone. What the hell? You guys are underage couple living in an apartment, and you're allegedly making $140,000 according to him, which I think is a lie. You're talking about finances the day that you're moving to a new apartment, and you guys are getting drunk, listening to, you know, drinking wine, having a conversation about money. What was the problem? If you're paying for everything and she's talking, you're not listening to understand, you're not listening, whatever. This story does not add up at all. And what we do know though is the girl jumped out of a 3-story building or however many story building, but she jumped off the 3rd floor because she was confined in a space. And for whatever reason, she jumped out of a 3rd story and maybe fractured some bones, all of these things. And I think initially, one of the charges was kidnapping. They gave him false imprisonment, but I think they'd also given him kidnapping too. But when you look at his record, because I was looking at DeKalb today, there was a no pros on something, but I couldn't see everything. And I recall him saying that we could go back to it in another video where he talked about it was kidnapping, but it ended up being charged out as false imprisonment.
household somewhere in the world where you and your partner may get into a heated argument, right? And you're like, babe, let's just talk about it. So this is where my charge was created. I'm blocking the door from the front door to the back door, right? She's like, I'm leaving. I take her keys. I'm like, listen, if you want to leave, call your mom, call your friend, but you can't drive this car like this because you're clearly intoxicated. So, you know, we're going back and forth from front door to back door. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'll leave. If you want to go, cool. I still have the keys, but I'm leaving. I pack a bag. At that point, she doesn't leave the apartment, right? And I call my cousin. I say, I need you to come get me, before it gets, escalates to a crazy situation. He came and got me. And the next morning I make a call, no answer. I make a call to her mother. She answered and she let me know that she was in the hospital from a jump off the balcony. So a garden style apartment is I'm on the 3rd floor, but at these actually I have garages underneath. So it's equivalent to like the 4th floor. Because you know what I mean?
She jumped off the 3rd floor balcony.
Off the 3rd floor.
Was she trying to commit suicide?
I believe I don't want to put those words in her mouth, but I believe so.
When you were holding the door, did you like hold her back? You never touched her. You was just like blocking the door.
No. Just trying to come to some type of solution. Because at the time, yes, I consumed alcohol, but I was still level-headed enough to have a conversation.
Do you imagine the eve of your wedding? You're getting ready for a wedding. You're into wedding things, right? And Carlos King invites you to come on his platform so that you can clear the air about your fiance's scammer ways. And he decides to rip the scab off and contaminate the air more. Like, this is not on some mending. This is on some really now and some discrepancies. Like, literally, he's been going now on and on and on.
Like, let's just talk about it. But what I didn't know at the time was that I was committing a crime. I didn't know that.
Little did I know,
if you block your
I was committing a
say, "Babe,
crime."
let's just talk about it. I didn't know that. I'm like, this is a common level thing. So
this is a common thing.
I was like, you know what?
Drinking, arguing, and blocking somebody from exiting against their will.
I give up.
Okay.
You want to go, just go.
So then you call her mom, and her mom says she's in the hospital because she jumped off Did she break bones?
Yes.
Do you know what was
there? Yeah. It was her ankles.
Jennifer, if you don't get the hell up out of there, if you don't hand that ring back and put his stuff outside.
I think she tried to break her fall. I don't know, because I didn't see the fall. So I think she tried to break her fall.
Was it cement that she jumped on? Grass?
No, it was cement. So these, like, mind you, we're like above like the car garages that people rent out.
Girl, Carlos was like, what? Girl, do you imagine 4 stories? So it's a 3rd floor plus a garage. Do you know the fear or what had to be going through this lady's head to do such a thing?
Grass?
No, it was cement. So these, like, mind you, we're like.
Okay. You have to be scared to jump out of a window. Ma'am clearly was not trying to kill herself. Ma'am, according to all of the things that have been said, I think ma'am is saying that she was fearful for her life.
Like above like the car garages that people rent out. So I think that impact, you know what I mean? It's different.
Poor Jennifer. I know Jennifer's like, Carlos, can you please do some edit on this?
From when you jump out versus jumping, just jumping down.
Yeah.
It's a different type of impact. I think jumping out probably could have resulted in something worse. You know what I mean? So
like a broken neck or something, like death.
Her mom said, listen, meet me at the apartment. And she has to go into surgery. Of course, I'm devastated at this point because it's someone I still love, right? And I get to the apartment.
I cannot get over that they're on the eve of their wedding and all of the wedding stuff. And this guy is going on and on and on.
This is 7 a.m. This is super early. And I get to the apartment. There's a warrant for arrest on my door. I forget. I can't remember what the order says, but I couldn't unlock my door. They changed the locks because what happened was when she fell, the neighbors called the police, right? Mind you, the neighbors had already heard the argument inside the apartment. So I get there. I'm like, okay, let's go to the leasing office. Well, I pack her bag, right? And I give it to her mom. Let's go to the leasing office. I have to get this key so I can come back. Sorry, I'm speaking fast. Let me rewind. I go to the leasing office. They ask for my driver's license. So basically, what happened was when the police showed up, of course, they have to show up. It's a dispute, right? I believe they
Babe, could you shut up? Like, okay, Carlos, can you tell them to stop the camera for a second? Babe, can you please stop? Babe, enough. Can you wrap this up? We're here to talk about us.
made a call to 24-hour maintenance, like, hey, change these locks. So when he comes back, we can apprehend him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get to the leasing office. I surrender my ID. And they're like, oh, well, we can give you a new key. Just drop it off as you're leaving, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. Right. They just, whatever.
Okay, cool.
As soon as I pack her bag, hug her mom is like, listen, whatever happens.
This sounds like, why does this sound a little bit like the guy DeAndre Cottrell, the male review dancers, the guys from the official Ski Boys going home, and the man comes back downstairs, Julian Morris, and tells the family that the guy jumped out the window. Okay. Maybe DeAndre jumped out the window because Julian was acting crazy, right? Who jumps out a window?
Her mom never once asked you if you did anything to her daughter.
Her mom asked what happened.
Okay.
And I let her know. We got into a very heated argument.
But she wasn't like upset with you or anything.
No. She gave me a hug. We had a very close relationship. She gave me a hug and just let me know, if police get behind you or trail you, whatever, just, you're a black man, just whatever. You'll make bond or whatever it is, right? I get.
The mom said, you'll make bond. See you later. Bye.
Back to the front of the neighborhood, pulled through the gate, and it's SWAT team. And I mean, you wouldn't think I've.
Oh, she knew. She gave you a hug, like, don't kill me, son. Go ahead. You'll make bond. Meanwhile, he pulls out and the SWAT team is there. When the SWAT team is coming for you, it's not okay. Whatever was told to the people, that was not okay. That was a problem.
Murdered someone. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right. I go do 20 something hours in jail, and
they arrested you.
Yeah, they arrested me on the spot.
On the spot.
That was very traumatizing. Because of course I'm literally like, police brutality has been happening for a long time. It's just, it's big now because of social media, because it can be recorded, because of body cameras, right? But at that time, reliving that moment, I'm like, listen, I don't have anything on me. And they're like dragging me out the car, slamming me on the ground. I'm just like, listen, I'm not resisting. I just take me to jail. You know what I mean? I do 20 hours in jail, I bond out, and I go back to my regular life. At the time, I was working at AT&T in corporate America. Of course, my manager understood. I didn't lose my job, kept my job. And I would say maybe probably a week, because the apartments, because of that situation, they filed for eviction. So now this goes on my credit. They said, you can't, we know you're transferring to a new apartment tomorrow, but you can't stay here. So now I have to find a new apartment, right? I found a new apartment. At this time, now my ex-girlfriend, she has to take a leave from work. Her mother has to take a leave from work to take care of her daughter, right? And we were communicating, like, back and forth. The judge is looking at me like, you're probably going to need like a lawyer for this case. It's a very serious.
My bad, Joe. He literally talked for 30 minutes. It's absolutely insane. Look at Jen now.
No, I was 19, man. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you created the demon in her because your influence is so impactful. So
it's accountability. It was just,
it's like, finally she gets
the
to talk.
cards that I have been dealt. So for me, it wasn't a red flag. Like, people done way worse. And I love that he was just so open about it. So I was like, wow, like that's.
So when she met him and he told her about all this, let's see when Carlos asked her.
This story, when you guys were at that 6-hour dinner, did it give you pause to want to pursue something with him, just based on your experience with your past relationships?
No, because honestly, he was so open about it. And you have to think, he didn't know me from a can of paint and vice versa. But he felt comfortable telling his story. And I was like, okay, I can't be the only person, you know? And honestly, I felt compassion for him because I was like, damn, how I'm trying to like put together like, well, how did that happen just from, but then I start thinking, I'm like, okay, we're in a Republican state, Georgia, like you're already in a negative when you're a black man in Georgia going into the court system. So the way he told his story, it wasn't cocky. It wasn't, he took full accountability. It was just, this is the deck of cards that I have been dealt. So
Jen doesn't want a straight guy. And I don't mean straight sexually. I mean straight as in straight and narrow, a square, um, somebody who is not with the shits. Like some people really have to just accept it and stop lying. You don't want, you like drama. You like drama. You like the shits. You don't want a square. There are plenty of square guys out here with deep pockets and fat accounts that would love to have a Jennifer Williams on their arm. And she wants trouble. She likes to trauma bond and she likes a troublesome type dude because there's no accounting for this type of mess at all. There's no like, oh, we live in a Republican state, and this, that, and the third, and boo boo the fool, and factor in, okay, she probably was, she's not this and she's not. It's just like, come on.
for me, it wasn't a red flag. Like people done way worse. And I love that he was just so open about it. So I was like, wow, like that's interesting. I never got that, and this is what I really do not like. Christian always says I'm his piece. And unfortunately,
His peace, as in peace and tranquility, or his piece of piece of female.
with what I do, it comes with a large amount of eyes and scrutiny and people saying whatever. And so for me, I'm always like, damn, I'm almost kind of disrupting his peace because he's lived a very public, a very private.
So she feels guilty that he is being scrutinized as a scammer because of her, I'm going to say in quotations, celebrity status.
Life until he met me. But I don't like the narrative that people are trying to spend like, oh, he's a woman beater, a domestic violence, because that's far from the case,
And for the record, you weren't convicted for DV, you were convicted for false imprisonment. Okay.
And so, listen, people get into arguments. It happens. And this was an unfortunate situation. Like I always say, it's unfortunate for both of them. Like both of their lives were affected because of this.
Yeah.
And I don't know her, so I don't know how it has affected her, just from what I have heard about the case. But I see how it has affected him. And I'm just like, it's not right, And I just don't like that people have labeled him that. And like I get it. For some reason, I don't know why people are so invested in who the fuck I'm with. It's
You don't know why? Why is it that people who sell their life and lifestyle for coin want people to only like I don't want you to like why are they so invested in what you're doing? Because you have been selling us your wedding for the past year. Since you met this guy, you've been planning a wedding. Like, are you out of your mind, sis? Why are people so invested? Don't you want people to hit your Instagram? So all of the businesses that you named, all of the people that supplied favors for your bridal shower and all of the things, you don't want people to be like if nobody were invested, nobody would be hitting your Instagram, people wouldn't be hitting those links. All of the things, Jen, you sell your lifestyle. You sell it for coin. Okay? You're using this guy to be your Mr. Williams, okay?
it's almost a little scary to me. Like,
no, I'm gonna tell you what it is. When it comes to you have a lot of loyal fans. when it comes to reality TV, you're like our Black Barbie. And because you listen, you are this beautiful glamazon. You wear your bouginess on your sleeve, and we love it. When you told Tammy you never saw a food stamp in your life, like we all laughed at it.
It's true.
No, but what was crazy about it is this. And listen, it's me included. Before we became friends, I was like, oh, she's everything. Because you're such a sweet woman. And you're so beautiful, you're classy, and you don't bother nobody in the sense of, like, leave Jen alone. Like, y'all can fight other people, but y'all leave her alone because Jen ain't about that life. Like, Jen is more so like, I thought you said.
Jen is about that life. Jen wants a roughneck. Why put Jen on a pedestal? This is who Jen chose. Jen is with the shits. If Jen wanted a square, if Jen wanted somebody who was not about this type of lifestyle, she would be with them. But that's not what she wants. This is what she wants. She wants Mr. Cutoff denim shirt. She wants Mr. Fashion. She wants Mr. Fast Talker. She wants her little version of Chris Brown. That's what she wants. She wants a bad boy.
But I really want to like go shopping.
Yeah.
So
okay, let's advance a little bit. So this is coming off of the okay, this is what happened. Now it's going to roll into the scammer conversation. This is so embarrassing, but maybe it's not. This is just, maybe she feels like, oh, do you think we finally got everybody to stop talking about us today? Are you going to go turn yourself into Cobb County?
Never even thought would be as lucrative as it is. So he's taught me what he does is.
So they're going to start talking about him doing his day trading, Forex, whatever, the Forex stuff. And he's going to say how he doesn't need a Series 6 or Series 7 and 63 licensing. I forget what the licenses are for trading, but a Series 6 and any of you guys who know what I'm talking about. There's some certain licensing that you need. He says that he basically makes recommendations. He's not a financial advisor, and he's like a teacher and a coach.
Ever. I couldn't, and no discredit to corporate America. I respect whatever people are doing in a legal way. I respect it. Cool. If you want to go sell bean pies, if you want to work corporate America 9 to 5 so you can have that pension, that 401k, I respect it, right? It's just not for me. And it's definitely not for me now because I can't even go back to corporate America with a felony. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I built myself up coming out of prison. I said, listen, I want the same thing I carried into this because I actually stopped. I left corporate America before I went to prison at 20 years old. It's been 11 years now. And affiliate marketing was that vehicle because I said I could build a community with this, right? And not only are these people, yes, I may bring in 10 people and those 10 people bring in 20 people. Guess what? That turns into something called residuals, right? And there's probably 7 different ways you get paid. You might get paid from holy Christian, no company attached, just me. And up until I started trading in pandemic, because I sat in the house anyway, right? That's when I really like honed into trading. And market, primary market is more.
I want to hear when Carlos asked him how much he's worth, and he sat up there and said he's worth $6 million. And I was like, "You lying? You're lying."
That's your income. That's your income is held into this trading account that you have ownership of.
That's correct.
Right? Okay. The other thing you do now or used to do, let me know if you do this now. When you help other people, you charge them a one-time fee to lend your expertise in terms of letting them know what to do in the secondary market.
That's correct.
Okay. So when you and Jen had this scene that aired on Basketball Wives, mm-hmm. and we'll get into the 250 in a second. So when you talked about wanting a job and Jennifer D. Williams gave the Black Mama head turn, looked at you like,
that's what you saw.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about? You have a job, and you were like, I'm gonna be a bartender. I want to do that. What did you mean by that? Because obviously you're making money, mm-hmm. but is it that you wanted to physically be in the workplace, or?
So, and I'm glad you asked me that. So that people can hear it come from my mouth. First of all, in that scene when we were filming, Jennifer was like, "I am allergic to broke," and then she proceeded to say, There's no reason in 2024 anyone should be broke because there's so many different outlets. You have Uber, you have Lyft, you have, you know what I mean? You can make money. You could be a streamer, whatever. And I said, oh, well, maybe I'll get it. I didn't say maybe. I said, I actually asked Jennifer if I can get a job. I was jokingly saying that, but at the same time, it goes back to me saying I actually miss the work. It's not meaning that I want to go back into employment, but what I used to do before becoming independent and just trading on my own, I was on stages in front of thousands of people telling my story. That is getting in the field and going to work.
Where was he on stages in front of thousands of people? Like, what kind of conferences had him coming through to talk about? I don't see it.
So I
He's
probably
not a good speaker. He's not on topic. He goes on and on and on about and has a certain type of mentality. I don't see any of the motivational guys like what is that guy? 90 is it 93 Keys? Like those guys who are on YouTube who do a lot of the millionaire type mindset talks about and Steve Hart, the brothers, there's these two brothers. Like, I don't see him teaming up with any of the YouTube guys that talk millions and talk millionaire mindset. He is not on that caliber or quality. He can't stay on topic. He rambles too much. He's not empowering at all. He's awful. No, he definitely didn't do any TED Talks. No, there are some guys on YouTube, a very specific group of people who talk money and finance and all and just kind of life coaching type stuff. And Steve Harvey goes to these two guys who are I think they're brothers every year. They have like a big kind of summit now, like if you will, all revolving around money and millionaire mindset type thing. And he's not that. He is definitely not that.
he said it in a way where people are like, oh, well, we knew he didn't have a job, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, well, I have a company, but I make the most money from my skill. And I think they twisted that as well to make it seem as
Yes, 19 Keys. I'm sorry, girl. I knew it was a
we
nine
really-
in there somewhere.
Not to cut you off. We were filming an episode for our YouTube channel, right?
Yes, yeah.
Which they were
Thank you, Jen, for getting it back on track. Like he talks too much. Invest fast. Thank you.
filming us do that,
Mhm.
right? On our YouTube channel.
We play around, we joke.
We joke, we have open dialogue. Sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's not. But
He couldn't be at Invest Fest. He could not. Those guys would mop the floor with him.
in the context of everything in the world and everybody just so like, I think the scrutiny on him is so magnetized. So, and he's just being his authentic self, because he's
Mhm.
talking to me, he's comfortable with me. But every little thing he says, they pick it apart.
Mhm.
Like they dissect, like, what did he? Oh, so he doesn't have a job. We knew he was scamming her. That's why he asked her for. It's just like they then come up with all these theories and narrative, and it's like you gather that from that one little 20-second clip that you saw.
Jen, you're too busy trying to defend him, sis.
It's so crazy. So not to cut you off, but we were just filming our YouTube, doing what we do.
We joke, we laugh, we
really have a good time.
What is your worth, if you don't mind me asking that?
My net worth?
Yeah.
My net worth, about 6 million. And this is investment.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Just trading,
Did you see Carlos's face? They know he's lying. He's lying. $6 million? Baby, stop. Stop it. He doesn't even own any property. You are worth $6 million and you own no property. Stop it. You moved into Jennifer's house. You were living in an apartment, sir. What man who is worth $6 million does not have some property? Even if it's just some undeveloped land or whatever asset. You own a building, you own a few houses, whatever the case might be. All of your $6 million is in liquid. So you have no assets other than cash. And you are an investor. And I'm not saying that you have to be a property investor, but what I'm saying is you are a 7-figure dude and you have nothing in, like, it's all liquid asset, because according, like, it doesn't, that's not adding up. You just dropped your dog? No, no, don't drop the
Is that a
dog.
lot? No, it's not. I've made
that's a
I've-
lot, Christian.
I've
Gold.
made, and I'm going to be very transparent. Before I started this group, I made $1 million and had $1 million in liquid. Babe, you know this story.
He had $1 million in liquid.
I had $1 million in
Cash.
liquid. That's different than your home, your cars, and your you know, depreciating assets. And but I made my first $1 million, and what did I do? Buying cars, staying in crazy this is before Jennifer. I'm staying in penthouses, $8,000-9,000 a month. When I met Jennifer, I was paying astronomical money. And I was just like, this is like, when it got to the point of me going through, that's why I always tell people $1 million is not a lot of money. $1 billion is, but $1 million is not a lot of money. You can go buy a Lambo, you can go buy whatever, pop bottles in the club, pay for everyone their dinner, their food, because I'm a pleaser. I love to, you know, take people out to dinner, whatever, take care of everyone, right? And I remember I ended up with negative 39 cents in my bank account. I flew through it.
And that was your $1 million liquid.
Liquid.
This is before you met Jen.
Yes, she's from New Jersey.
This is 2021. And one thing I always say, if I made it once, I can go do it again. Now, what I do with it when I get it back is all up to me. It's all up to my discipline. It's up to my maturity. I already knew that I wanted a wife. You know what I mean? I wanted to start a life with someone. I was literally manifesting this. And I said, I can't do this with this mindset. You get what I'm saying? So I took that, I built a discipline, and that's why today I'm actually more frugal than I used to be. I used to just, here, just watch here.
I didn't say something
like
about Lambo
on my Instagram, and it said, not verbatim, but it said, I remember I wanted that AP. I wanted that Protect. I wanted that Rolex.
Okay, so why, unless you guys are putting on for the gram and for Basketball Wives, why was he trying to clear his probation money through Jen if he's worth $6 million, if he's got cash, right?
I wanted that Cuban, and I went and got it, and I still didn't feel happiness. You know when I felt the most happy? When I had negative 39 cents in my bank account. I was the happiest I've ever been.
Why?
Because money doesn't
Carla
define that.
said, why?
Because when you get there, we're like, oh, if I get $1 million, I'm good. If I get 10 million, I'm good. You get to that place, and then you still come to that realization of like, I am still unhappy.
Well, Jennifer says she's allergic to broke.
Yeah.
Do you think money defines you, Jen?
Well, no, I wouldn't say it defines me, right? But it makes life easier for sure. And
it pays the bills, and it gives you experiences for sure.
Can he let her talk?
Yeah, and listen, I like to be comfortable. You know what I mean? And the difference between Christian and I on certain levels, like I'm very much like I'll splurge. You know, we go to Paris. I'm in heaven. I'm like, I can't wait to drop these bags. I'm going to every store. I'm just like,
as soon as we check in. I mean, no lay down or no change clothes, hit the streets.
Yeah, like that's I love it. That's my vice, right? He has like other vices, but he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, like although he's like into fashion.
Watches are my vice.
Yeah, that's like his vice.
And those are my trophies. This is a yacht master. This is actually a gift.
From who? This
is my 30th birthday gift from your very own.
Jennifer? You buying Rolexes?
No. But what was your first?
Jen. So he turned 30 soon after you guys met, and you loved him down with a Yacht Master Rolex. $25,000-$30,000 watch.
Gift when we met for Christmas.
A Rollie? Iced out?
No. That's a sunburst. That's a Patek. And I said, I've never done this for I've never went this distance. And the distance I went to get it through my broker. But it wasn't a thing like, oh, I'm big dog, I'm stepping in. It was like, I remember her saying, like, I want to Patek. And I hear everything Jennifer says. She may not think I hear it, But if she needs her feet rubbed or she wants a massage, I take her to get a massage. I rub her feet. I want to protect. Oh, okay. Let me hit the broker up. And those are considered investment pieces. They go, it's just like the market. They go up and down in value, but they're investment pieces.
Have your money increased since you met Christian?
Yeah, for sure.
Who makes more money, you or Christian?
I always say him, for sure. Like he can literally, and we just.
I put it in front of her face all the time.
Have you seen his bank statements?
No,
yeah, no. I'm showing you bank statements. I'm showing you trade accounts, but I'm also showing you statements.
but he actually does not believe in banks like that. Like
I keep a very minute money in the bank.
Yeah, you should not keep more than $250,000.
I do not trust banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see his trade accounts. So
Okay.
I see the equity. I see what's in it. We were laying in bed one day and he was, I don't know what trade, because this is all like foreign to me.
Oh, in LA.
And I start.
Okay, you guys were in LA, but you're on probation and you're not supposed to be leaving the state of Georgia. That's why you're in trouble, much less leaving the country. Okay, but you guys were in LA, so I guess whoever is checking their social media for his probation violations, there's another one. Okay.
Great business to be in, right? But with anything, it comes with risk.
Mm-hmm.
And so
risk.
It's like, it's every day is a gamble. And like some days, yeah, you're going to win. I saw that 50,000 happen, like I said, within 90 seconds with my own eyes. But I also know like you're going to take losses. It's just the law of the universe. Like you're not going to win every day, no matter what you do in life. So there's a lot that goes with that. Like trading is great. Last Monday, the market crashed. It was like the biggest crash in history. Everybody lost shit on Monday that was in the stock market.
6.4 trillion.
Like it was something unheard of. So I feel bad for him because sometimes his clients, they love him and sometimes they hate him.
When I'm making money, they love me. But when I lose $20,
right,
I knew you were a scammer. And then the narrative of the restitution, and they see that spinning it into.
Have you lost clients because of you appearing on Basketball Wives?
Yes.
Because the perception was based on the clips, they're concerned that you're scamming them too.
Yes. I've also had clients reach out to me and say, just for confidentiality, I don't say names or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I've also had clients reach out to me and say, I've seen all the narratives about you online, but I've always gotten results with you. Because the money I make them, they can tangibly touch it.
They can tangibly touch it. It's like wasn't tangibly enough, but they can tangibly touch it. It's
See what I'm saying? They can tangibly
like, come on.
They want it. Most of them are like, this is just long term. I want to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I have people that say, my Caucasian clients understand. It's so sad that our clients don't understand. When I lose,
I hate, one of my biggest pet peeves is how when I'm going to say it, so maybe I'm going to sound like him. I don't like when Black business people are called out by other Black people for whatever reason, whatever he's done or didn't do. And he wants to use the excuse that other clients of other races are like a better client or a more understanding client. And we are just the worst fucking clients ever. I cannot stand that. Like when he said that, even if he had a 1% with me, it's gone. Because for him to sit there and say, look at Carlos's face, for him to sit there and say that his white clients are okay with however he does business and the Black clients are quick to call him out. First of all, I wouldn't do business with someone I don't trust. So I would say to those people, you never should have been doing business with him anyway like that, if that's how you felt. But I don't like his feedback that he thinks that Black people don't know how to do business and that we're always so quick to pull the trigger on an accusation when shit, it's true. It's true.
money, I'm automatically a scammer.
I mean, you're on probation, like you're literally on probation. You're wanted by the police right now. Like if you're a scammer, I guess the people who you do business with would have to file the complaints, I guess.
I lost a record amount last week, a record amount that I'm going to be recovering from for not a long time, but it's going to take a while. I was already down in trades at the time, and then Monday hit. It just it's the game.
Look
And
at Jen's
I
face, like, please
put
shut
that on
up.
paper and let my clients know verbally and on paper, some or all of your capital is at risk with this. So you're agreeing to investing, but just as much as I lose capital, you can too. So I've made people money, but I've also lost money too.
It's sounding like how when DJ Envy and his people, that whole whatever they had going on, it's sounding like, well, you can't be like, I lost money, you lost money, like we're in this together.
There's people, because obviously there's been questions about you, Jen, as well. How do you feel when people are like, Kristen, do you think Jen is with you for love or for your money?
I was having a conversation with my stepfather, maybe 2 hours, around 3 o'clock today. I mean, 2 o'clock today. And he said, you know, one thing I love about Jen, Jen has this lifestyle. She loves to shop. She loves nice things. She loves fancy restaurants. He said, one thing I've realized about my stepdad calls me, he calls me son, but he said
I mean, he's got a whole entire, let me move this so you guys can, it's on my community post. The warrant is there. And it's not on the scamming stuff. It's more so on the fact that he has violated his probation. It's quite possible that he would have to spend the next year in jail. He still had a year of probation left, and he has violated his probation on top of potentially other things. And it's a problem. So, boom. What did you say? Let's see. It's illegal for him to manage funds. Well, he says that what he's doing is he's not a financial advisor or financial planner or he's not trading for people. He's in the capacity of like a coach or a teacher, but I get what you're saying. And that's not what he had on his website at first. So yes, I think I actually went to his website before the website was taken down, like last year, where it was talking about investing and it was talking about a bunch of other things. And he may have painted himself into a little bit of a corner. We're going to see how, but right now what he's wanted for is a probation violation. But anybody who's losing money with him, um and they file FTC complaints or whatever, it's going to be a problem for him. He did it to himself.
soon to be daughter-in-law. I've seen the way she looks at you. I've seen the way she treats you. I've seen the peace she's giving you.
What was the
that's when I knew that she
question?
was not in it for that. Whatever I do for Jennifer, Jennifer can do for herself. And I got to respect that. I'm not intimidated by it. If anything, I'm motivated by it because now coming into marriage, we're a unit. We're going to be way more powerful together than we
I hope she doesn't marry him. I'm just going to say it.
are apart. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, outside of that, I've never really had anyone come to me and say, I mean, of course the comments, but I don't know these people. I'm talking about people that matter in my life.
Was your stepdad at one point concerned, like, is she
Yes.
with you? Okay.
Not for that reason. My stepdad was actually concerned about the age gap early on. And he actually said it wasn't going to work.
Ooh.
Because of her
Ooh.
life. And he knows that's not my life. I've always, even when I was having this success and lost it and gained it back before Jennifer, I've always kind of just been to myself. I don't have a big circle of friends. Jennifer can tell you. Hence why the wedding was supposed to be like 30 to 40 people, but it ended up being, I think 75 or whatever. So he said, it's not going to work. And he didn't say it to me. It came back to me. But man to man, he called me a few months later and he said, I just want to apologize. I'm like, apologize for what? I want to apologize, number one, not coming to you man to man and telling you that it wasn't going to work and going to someone else in the family saying it wasn't going to work. And I have to respect that. You know what I mean? And I always say, Carlos, the double standard of we praise the older men that go after younger women. What's the difference? They praise that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely double standard too, because I mean, obviously, you know,
Jen wore that smoky eye for a reason, because it's damn near like she got sunglasses on. I mean, it's like, I know she's got to be pissed at how he talks so damn much this whole time.
people look at this situation, and I'm sure you've seen this too. I want to give you the opportunity to address it. Some people do think like Jen we think you're continuing this because you have something to prove. And they are like, why rush into this wedding? Y'all just met less than 2 years ago. Why the rush? Are you trying to prove something to the audience, to the fans? You know, why not just wait this out? What do you have to say to those people?
I mean, that's crazy because I really am at a point in my life where I have found my fucking button, right? And what I mean by that is like, I don't give a fuck what people say. You know, people have been talking about me for years, whether it's love, whether it's hate. You know, I have been through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life. Again, I have asked God for discernment. And like I told you, this is like this is the happiest time. And it's like, wait for what? We've been together almost 2 years. Like I'm talking about, I think within a matter of 2 years, we probably haven't seen each other in like 45 days, right? Max. Because the great thing is he can work from wherever.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, I see him day in, day out. He sees me when I'm not looking like this. You know, like it's very authentic. He literally is my best friend. I can tell him whatever. I learn from him. I think he learns from me. And when you know, you know. And it's a feeling that if nobody gets, that's fine. It's not for you to get. It's for him and I. And one thing Christian told me very early on, he said, listen, I'm not here to waste your time. And I respect him for that because I think and I get it, like you do have to be in relationships, kind of like feel it out. But it was always like, this is so bigger than what him and I probably imagined. Like the connection it's just on another level. It's almost like I can't really put it into words. We have our bad days, you know, like we don't always see eye to eye. I'm not going to paint like this, the Mona Lisa, because it's not always amazing, but we talk to each other in a very respectful manner and we're able to navigate whatever it might be. And I definitely attest to him being forward thinking with saying, babe, we need to get a premarital counselor. And we went through one, it didn't work. Now we love our counselors, but he's always said, the wedding, that's for you. I'm invested in the marriage. So Christian, again, he's wise beyond his years. I've never had anyone say that to me. I've only been married once. We know how that ended. Counseling was not even a thing. So again, like I appreciate people being concerned, but it's not what it is. Like I'm literally, I know. And again, I have found my fucking button.
Are you going to have Christian sign a prenup?
We have talked about it. We talked about it because here's the thing, you know, he has kids. There's properties involved, you know, like there's certain things that in assets that need to be protected. So we've definitely had that conversation. So,
and I've never been opposed to it. I want to make sure Jennifer's protected at all times.
So are y'all going to go through it? Y'all still conversing about it?
We are.
You are going to pursue that on both sides.
It's important.
Yeah, because look at it this way. I'm just going to be, so he turned 31. I looked on his Instagram. He turned 31 in June, right? She'll be 50 in September. Look, life is life, right? At the end of the day, Jen has property. She has things. He has allegedly some liquid, right? You got kids. You got child support. You never know how life turns out. And if Jennifer's plan for her estate, I'm gonna say it like this: when you're sitting and you're thinking about what you have and what you want to go where, you've got a niece that maybe you support through college, or you have an idea of what you want for your estate, your treasures that you have amassed. If you don't want, like, you have an idea of how you want things dispersed. So I'm sorry, a woman at 50 years old has to think about those things, and a prenup is definitely part of that. Also, when you are marrying someone who has children that may not be part of the situation. So yeah, a prenup is absolute. If she doesn't do a prenup, that's her business.
It's important. Okay.
And it's not a thing of oh well, thinking oh we're going to get divorced or anything like
No,
that.
I just
It's
think
a thing of just being smart
Yeah.
because people
Girl, a prenup and a goodwill.
we are attacked for God. We've been attacked. This didn't just start from the show. This started from day freaking one.
Oh yeah, it has. And the
It's
thing
been-
is,
I'm just
yeah.
like people are really invested. And
listen, I am people because I'm invested in her, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
listen, I like you a lot. You know what I'm saying? And we had dinner, and I was like, I took her to the bath. We moved to the bathroom, and I grabbed my girl's hand, and I looked her dead in her eyes, and I said, "Are you good? Are you good? This is me and you, bitch. You good?" Because that's how close she and I are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she looked me dead in my eye. I was like, "I'm good." And I said, "You need to tell me if there's anything I need to do. Like, are you good?" Because obviously, when we had dinner, I was like, "I like him a lot. I think he's great." But obviously, you guys were together.
Yeah.
So I wanted some one-on-one time with my girl because she always tells me the truth, right? And I grabbed her hands and I said, "Are you okay? You're good?" Because again,
Do you imagine you're getting ready to get married and your friends are asking you, "Are you good? Are you okay?" rather than like, "Tell me how much you love him. Tell me, sum it up for me." And you are over here talking about, "I'm good," not, "Oh my God, this is literally, I can't imagine life without him. The answer to my prayers, everything that I've always wanted." I feel, you know what I mean? Just all like, "I'm good. Are you okay?" Like that sounds like concern. That doesn't sound like, "Tell me how happy you are." Like, I want to hear, sum it up. I want to hear how happy you are. Yeah, tell me he's the one for you. Tell me you guys are going to be like 80 and 60.
it's a lot to do with like what's happening. And I think me being protective of her was more so like, well, before you guys got engaged, I didn't meet him, and I usually can meet the guys. So it wasn't anything against you. I'm just protective of any guy she dates because of our history. And the reason why I was happy we all had dinner is because I now see why.
Did you see his face? Hold on. Girl. Wait until he goes to court. Let's see if she's going to show up front row. I don't know. I don't know that I would be over there trying to do like the Megan Good support system thing. Um and you never know. It could be the ex could have reported it to the probation officer and said, "You know what? I'm I mean, this lady could be permanently disabled. We don't know what repercussions of this 3-story fall, 4-story fall, that she is still enduring." StreamYard is okay. Where are we? We're at 138.40. We're almost done with this. Um, it's just interesting that they felt like they needed to do, the cleanup.
Yes, it's a lot to do with like what's happening. And I think me being protective of her was more so like, well, before you guys got engaged, I didn't meet him, and I usually can meet the guys. So it wasn't anything against you. I'm just protective of any guy she dates because of our history. And
Look at his face. He looks like he has a very short fuse. Like he's definitely confrontational. Oh, come on.
the
Okay.
reason why I was happy we all had dinner is because I now see why she loves you, right? Like, you are this man that she would talk to me about that she needed and wanted. She always wanted a man who was able to teach her things, right? Because every woman wants to be protective. And Jen is very old school when it comes to relationships. She believes like honey, if I walk out, open the door for me. You know, I'm sure you know this. Like Jen is very much a woman, a feminine woman who believes in old school values. You know, Jen is soft. Jen believes in a soft life. Jen is like, I try to be one of those girls out there trying to do everything.
Yeah,
like
I've always been about the soft life. I don't. It's like a thing now. I'm like, it should have always been a thing.
Yeah. So, you know, listen, my advice to her would have always been like, get a prenup, only because it's a smart thing to do. And it's not indicative of like, well, what if things go wrong? It's always like you two have already said, you have 2 kids, right? 2 kids. You have 3 kids. And
I keep them out of everything.
Yeah. And you should.
They're innocence. I take that very serious because people always asking, well, you don't post your kids. Well, listen, the type of attacks I get online.
Christian, this is not about you at this moment. He's talking about Jennifer. We don't even know those kids' names, and nobody's interested. Until it's stepmommy season, we don't need to know anything.
I don't want that on my children. People screenshot photos and they print them out and they.
Do you see how she's looking? Look at how Jen's looking. Did you see Carlos looking like he had the shakes? Like, I don't even know how Carlos even, like, this is very cringe.
It's weird. So I have to protect their energy. I have to protect their innocence. You know what I'm saying? So I love my children. Jennifer knows that. You know, I'm always talking about them. I love them. And I love that Jennifer is accepting of it. You know what I mean?
You a stepmom, Jen?
I am.
You be hanging out with the kids?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's my life now.
Do you guys want kids of your own together?
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Are you pregnant?
No.
Okay. Is there a surrogate pregnant?
No.
Because you guys are giving me Kim and Kanye vibes. You know?
No, we have to like get through the wedding first, and you know, then we'll see what happens. We're moving. There's a lot of moving parts. So I think once we get settled,
she has such a, I love you. She has such a nurturing spirit. And I always see just even how she treats our dog. I'm like,
she's okay. So that's a lie. She's never been around the kids. If she's been around the kids, he would have gotten a chance of seeing that motherly towards humans spirit within, not just the motherly spirit towards the fur babies. And I am a fur mommy, so I do take that seriously, and I love my fur babies, period. You guys, if you've been around here any period of time, you guys already know. But there is a big difference. There's just a difference between your fur babies and your babies. And the way he said, the way she treats the dogs, but she said that she's a stepmommy. So how does she treat the children? Or are the children not really there? That comment just said to me, the kids are not around.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Another lie. Okay? Because it would have been, and the way she treats my children, not the way she treats our dog. That was a lie.
She would be phenomenal. And I think it would make her mother proud too.
See, he knows the things to say. Look at that. Mom passed away. So he knows the things to say to love bomb and to kind of bring up certain things to touch at Jennifer's heart. Because I think Jennifer has said like mom was her best friend, all of those things. He deserves a damn couple of smacks on that one. Look how pompous he is. He knows, Jen, girl, he is teeing you all the way up. He's got you down at the Masters tournament. He got you at the 7th hole. He has got you teed up, sis, on the damn that damn Tiger Woods, okay? He's got you lined up ready for the scam, okay?
But whatever God has in store, you know what I mean?
Whatever God has in store.
That's it. Okay. It's not a thing. It's forced, or if it happens, it does. If not, we got each other, and she has bonus children. And the goal is for them to grow up and because I do have a daughter and I would love my daughter to grow up and no discredit because I have a phenomenal mother, but my daughter to grow up and just see how Jen moves, see how Jen operates, see like that's a beautiful thing. And this is off camera, off TV. We are okay.
We're amazing. We're getting ready to get married. We love each other. They are okay. We are okay. We're okay.
At first, the comments would bother me. I'm new to this. You know what I mean? But now I know because I know who Christian is. I know my intentions. I love people. I love to help people. People get the wealth and don't share it. I'm different. If I have a skill and my people don't know the skill, I either teach it. If they're too lazy and they still want it, that's my thing. It's all about building people around me because it's an evil world, man. And we don't allow that evil world.
Jen, please get him media coaching. Please ask him to take a breath. Please tell him to just answer the questions and stop freestyling on these interviews.
To come into the household, I said the last thing we're going to allow. This is when I said, you know what? I don't even care about the internet anymore. I don't even see it unless someone sends it to me, right? We will not allow that to come into our household and we start butting heads. We have to be stronger than ever, connected to our premarital counselors, praying. You know, we watch, service together. You know what I mean? And that's just stay in jail. You know what I mean? So I've never felt a feeling like this ever with a person outside of my kids. My children and her, it's a feeling of, wow, I have to protect them with everything, every fiber of my being. And that's how I feel about Jennifer.
Well, look, I'm happy for you.
Did you guys might not have seen it. Carlos is probably writing her a very long letter right now. Like, Jen, I'm concerned. Dear Jen, I'm very concerned. I'm worried for you. Look at that smile. It's a Jen, I'm concerned. I want you to come see me alone tomorrow. Okay. Look at Jen for a second, guys. Hopefully I don't stall out my computer again. Jen has a couple of nerves in her face that started to flinch when he said the last couple of things. It was giving extra cringe. Hopefully I didn't lock me. Hold on. I don't, how some people are saying like I feel secondhand embarrassment. I don't think I feel secondhand embarrassment. I'm just like, I'm concerned. But okay, let's look at Jen's face. Just watch over here on her by her nose.
You know what I mean? And that's just
watch.
You know what I mean? So I've never felt a feeling like this ever with a person outside of my kids. My children and her, it's a feeling of, wow, I have to protect them with everything, every fiber of my being. And that's how I feel about Jennifer.
Well, look.
When she started to smile, it was like a nervous kind of, there was a twitch in that, in her smile lines. And then Carlos clapped. This is really sad. I feel sorry for Jennifer. I really do. I do kind of feel bad for her. I think she got herself in a pickle with this guy. I think that she likes him, but there's a lot of red flags. Maybe she loves him. I don't think she's deeply in love with him. I think he'll do. But I think that all of these red flags are really making her feel away. And you're just about to get married. This is not a good sign.
Look, I'm happy for you. It's long overdue, bitch. I mean,
yes, it was a long time.
We've been through it.
Yes.
No, all jokes aside, listen, I'm looking forward to the wedding. I'm invited. I'm the lucky one. So I can't wait to see you guys walk down the aisle. Who paid the $250 bill? Is it paid for?
My restitution has been paid by myself.
So you paid the $250.
I paid my restitution and it's done.
So he didn't say 250. It wasn't. Yeah, he says he paid it allegedly, right?
But also I think you need to clarify the amount because there is just too much talk and chatter about
yes,
that.
and just dudes, you know, I'm when it comes to them pulling the transcripts, what people don't realize is there's two sets of transcripts. When I got convicted, I went to trial. Well, to trial, then got convicted. My family collectively came together and hired an actual real attorney after the first one ditched me for a new trial to get me home sooner. And that is when another motion was filed for the hospital bills to be paid. They're like, well, she shouldn't have to pay him because she tried to get away from him. That's what they painted in court. So that's why she jumped. That's what prosecution painted, right? And that is where that amount came from. Here's another thing. There's a set amount, and I'm not going to say that amount because I can't legally. There's a set amount that I have to pay every single month coming home in 2018. I came home in 2018. We're now 2024. So that set amount, if I'm paying this set amount, and I'll go ahead and say it, $300 a month was the minimum that you could pay anything, but $300 a month. Do you not think that $12,500 wouldn't be paid by now? It's been 6 years. 12 months times 3 is $3,600.
Embarrassing.
Times, I've been on papers for 6 years. See what I'm saying? I'm a numbers guy. So I'm looking at this and I'm just like, okay, I guess they correlated.
But you're worth $6 million. You're worth $6 million. Why are we even talking about this?
To me asking, I just had the conversation. Really, and it's crazy because a friend brought this up. Really, what I was saying was, I have this big, large bill that I have to take care of.
Which was way larger than 250.
She's also heard. She's also heard me on the call before with my probation officer. And what did she say? You need to knock this down because it's a big amount. She's heard it out of her ears.
But you're worth $6 million liquid. So why don't you just cut the check? Why didn't you just cut the check? So if you owed this lady restitution, why did it take the internet dragging you to give the lady her money or pay the insurance company back their money? Like, why did it take being forced and dragged to do the right thing? And you're busy buying Bentleys, Cullinans for Jennifer. Like, what? Allegedly. I mean, I guess he says he bought, like, when he delivered her that Cullinan Bentley, but you're paying $300 a month. $6 million minus 390. Why are you guys talking money when the man says he's worth $6 million? I'm just trying to figure it out.
So,
and why are you going? This is what I want to know, Carlos King. Did you? Because I didn't get to this part. Are you going to go turn yourself into to DeKalb County? Are you going to go ahead and turn in and handle this warrant that's on the screen, guys? That's what I want to know.
To God be the glory of spade.
Huh?
Because my restriction on travel stemmed from that. You know what I mean? I would never ask her to take care of something that she had nothing to do with. Yes, we're coming into a marriage. Yes, it'll get to a point where what do married couples do? Someone handles the money. And I told Jennifer, I want you to handle the money. Did I not?
Are you guys gonna get a joint account?
We'll have one, but we'll also have our own. Okay. Jennifer likes to go to Saks and all that. Do that. But this house account got to be the house account. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah, Dan. No Versace plates, my love.
Sure, she already has some.
Actually, Hermes.
Oh, you're the Hermes China?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the joint account that'll pay for that, Christian?
I do a lot. You know what I mean? And that's not for me to go on the internet and say, oh, well, I did this. And I don't have to prove what I do for her. As long as she knows, that's right. It. You know, I've been gotten her investment pieces and whatever. I don't have to say, oh, I got it. If she wants to post, cool. That's fine. But my thing is, we have our joint, but I have already stressed to Jennifer, once we cross that line of marriage, you handle the money. So if we had dinner and she pull a card out, don't think she paying my way. She ain't paying my. It's just, babe, you got it.
I know. I mean, listen.
I mean, what do I do now? I actually put my wallet in her bag. There's times when we go out. And
Girl, that is her whole son. I mean, okay, Jen, you don't need to have it because that's your
my
son.
wallet's in her bag.
I'm responsible.
No, look, I want to say this to you. I really appreciate you coming to sit on the couch to clear the air, because obviously you fell in love with a woman that's been in our lives since 2009. You know what I mean? And like I said, she's our Black Barbie.
15 years, wow.
Yeah, she is just somebody who we have such love for. And it's not easy dating somebody who is on television every week, where she's on a show where obviously everyone's in her business too. Then you have the audience in your business. And then what happens is in real life, you have someone like me who's been friends with her that long, who's even like, okay, bitch, are you good? You know what I mean? And that was even after we met, because I just wanted to make sure, like, I like him a lot. Okay, I want to make sure that I just have one-on-one time with my girl. Like, are we good? Because please let me know what I'm feeling here is accurate. Like, I feel this is good for you.
I respect that.
And
Did she say yes? So you're right. He said I paid the restitution, and she said, could you please clarify the amount, because there's been so much going back and forth in that. And then he said something about there's 2 sets of transcripts and what people don't know. So girl, bye. This was a mess.
and I wanted to have a private moment with her about that. We did, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. I am flying to Paris, which isn't cheap, because I believe in this matrimony.
Girl, did you see his
which isn't
face?
cheap.
Look, girl. I don't think he's feeling him too much. Hold on.
And I wish you guys nothing but the best. I am flying to Paris, which isn't cheap.
Okay, you guys missed it. Did you guys see what I was talking about?
And I wish you guys nothing but the best. I am flying to Paris, which isn't cheap.
Girl. He's looking at him like, and what about it? I don't think he understands Carlos. You know what I mean? I don't think he gets his humor. And you don't have to, because that's Jen's friend. But I think he's feeling I think I think he feels a little threatened,
Because I believe.
Girl, did you see how he did his mouth?
I am flying to Paris, which isn't cheap. Because I believe.
Girl, he moved the way he did his jaw.
In this matrimony, and I believe in this love. And it took me to physically, see it, for me to understand that, wow, I would like for the world to experience what I experienced the time we had dinner. And I wanted the world to know, like, our girl who has been through some shit, like, she found her Prince Charming, and you are such a guy that, listen, we all have stuff in our past that we have to.
I don't think Christian, what is his name? Damn, Christopher CG, I don't think he's happy about this interview. I wouldn't have been either. You talk too much, but that's his own fault. Carlos didn't even grill him with a lot of grill-worthy questions. Whatever he feels about this interview was self-inflicted, because he talked his ass off.
To address. And if she was a regular woman walking down the street, nobody would care. But it's what you signed up for. And I appreciate you having the guts to do this. And I appreciate you having the guts to be in a relationship with a woman where you know that, all right, every Monday at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm gonna get some shit. But I'm sure that it's worth it. So I just want to applaud you for that. And I can't wait to see my girl walk down the aisle, because all of our friends are getting married this year or gotten married this year. So listen, it is your time. And I know so much about you. And I know for a fact that there's not a lot of people in this world who I know personally that deserves this more than you. So I want you to know that.
You.
Okay.
You've definitely seen me kiss a lot of frogs.
Yes. And baby, this one ain't no frog.
Again, why bring that up? Why bring that up? Look, girl.
No, so real quick, I remember I just thought about it because we were watching Pastor Soiree this past Sunday,
Yes, it
right?
was good.
We used to go to that church a lot every Sunday when we lived in LA together. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So one time I was there with Scam Likely. Remember?
I remember.
And I didn't know you were there, and we
Yeah.
were like leaving out. So he actually got to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He had his nerve to walk into church with me and sit his scamming ass in that church, and then he met Carlos.
Yes, and he pulled up in a red Ferrari.
That was my car.
What that got to do with me? Jen. This interview was a shit show. So you close out the interview on the eve of your wedding, talking about this shit show situation with this man that you're engaged to. And you end the interview talking about going to church and this scamming ass guy who comes into the church who was driving your Ferrari. What was the purpose in bringing that up? Is it because he sat there and talked for 30 minutes about his baby mama? This is disgusting. I'm just, me personally, Jen and I I'm a couple years older than Jennifer, right? And we're both from Jersey. I was like, you don't talk about the last one with anybody. You don't talk about anything other than your current with your current. Like, you don't bring up the past. And most of that stuff is to the grave, okay? You keep it very cute. Talking about exes in front of your man is what? Who does that? Just think about your man talking about some other chick, whatever he had going on with somebody else. Me personally, try it. If you and your man do that, try what I'm telling you. You don't talk about anybody and he doesn't talk about anybody in front of you. Nobody else exists but you two. And I'm talking about exes and relationships outside of maybe if you got kids or something with somebody, whatever that may be, but you're not going down memory lane. Okay? That's crazy. So tell us this story one more time, Jen. You were at the church and what happened?
Yes, and baby, this one ain't no frog, bitch.
No, so real quick, I remember I just thought about it because we were watching Pastor Soiree this past Sunday,
Yes, it
right?
was
We used to
good.
go to that church a lot every Sunday when we lived in LA together. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So one time I was there with Scam Likely. Remember?
I remember.
And I didn't know you were there, and
Yeah.
we were like leaving out.
So you're watching the televangelist or whatever. You're watching the church on TV. And did you tell him that so we're watching this church program, but I actually used to go to that church with someone who scammed me, and now you're going to tell it at the end of this interview?
Now, so he actually got to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
He had his nerve to walk into church with me and sit his scamming ass in that church, and then he met Carlos.
Yes, and he pulled up in a red Ferrari.
That was my car. I'm like,
yeah, and I was like, what is happening? But no, I've seen it. That's why I believe this. I love this, and
Jennifer don't mind loaning her toys out.
you deserve it. You deserve it.
you.
So thank
Thank
you,
you.
Christian, and thank you, Jen.
Thank you,
thank
brother.
you. Thank you for having us.
Baby, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Jen, look, I think Jen, if that's what Jen wants, if she likes it, I love it. How about that? I'm going to say something nice. If she likes it, I love it. Good for her. If she's happy, this is her dream guy. Who am I to think, you know what I'm saying? If this is what she envisions for herself, this is that dude. Girl, if you like it, I love it. Okay? Baby. Girl. Yes, it's pure romance over there. I'm so confused at the way women feel so comfortable discussing other men around who's supposed to be like the new love of their life. Like that's just weird to me. Jen needs a refined 6-year. She could have that though. You already know that. Like we were saying that when we first started, like Jen is with the shits. Jen wants a roughneck. Jen wants a F boy. This is what she wants. This is what she wants. This is her comfortable place. He wants her to manage the money because the public's perception is he's not trustworthy. So, you as a single woman who has to manage your finances, you have the luxury of, or whatever, however you want to look at it. I'm just going to say you have a husband now and you still have to manage the money. So he's going to give you a certain amount of money every month. Okay, and that's fine if that's how you want to do things, but he's giving her the finances to manage because he can't be trusted or he's allegedly a scammer. It just doesn't hold well for me. Like it just sounds kind of like, okay, that's not soft lifing. Soft lifing, you should not have a care in the world and he should be managing everything if it's truly on some married soft life. Ooh, Lambo came in here and scared me. If it's on some married soft life, okay. Girl, if she likes it, I love it. Okay. Guys, look at your screen. In DeKalb, sir is wanted. They said that he left the state of Georgia without permission. He's still on probation and he has a probation violation and he is wanted. Okay. It's posted on my community wall. So we'll see what happens with that. Is he going to turn himself in? I wish that Carlos King would have asked him that before they closed out the interview. But girl, you said Carlos is writing an email right now. Jen, the comment section is in shambles. Hold on, let me check the comments. Hold on. Girl. Jen, the comments are in shambles. Hit me up ASAP. Okay, let's see. Jen, call me 911. The comments are in shambles. Hold on. There is nothing wrong with being single, not settling, and preserve your peace. Okay. I'm gonna say another thing. And I'm just gonna say I'm not trying to be another level of party pooper, but it is concerning to me that he is 31 and she's gonna be 50. Not because she's 50, but there's a 19-year age difference. And I just think that that's a lot. Even if he was a 50-year-old, even if he was a 50-year-old man and she was 31, um, I think we've gotten used to that over time. I just think that there's a big difference. Like, whose baby daddy is that? Is that Amber, one of Amber Rose baby daddies is with Cher and he's like 40 and Cher is what, damn near 80? How old is Cher? 80 something, 70 something, and Amber Rose's baby daddy is over there with her and he's like 30 years older. I mean 30 years younger, a mess. He watered that story down. The judge ain't giving nobody 7 years for that BS. Tell the truth because the victim will eventually expose him. Anytime a man brings shame or unwanted attention to you, it's a huge indicator that this person is not for you. I truly believe he's using her. If you are worth 6 million, why would you still owe 250,000? That should have been paid, no problem. Jen is looking like a disappointed mom who left work early to meet her son at the principal's office. Like I said, the comments are in shambles. He wasn't talking to his girlfriend about finances or about being a partner. He's lying like a rug. This pending marriage smells of desperation. Jennifer is such an incredibly beautiful woman. I hope that she wakes up and just says no to this scammer loser. There are so many red flags popping up everywhere. On a positive side, Jen is open to dating. Jen is open to dating anyone. On the negative side, she doesn't consider character in a relationship. Oops. Jen is caught up by his words and not his actions. He's a fraud. She'll regret this in a minute. He was asking for a job. The longer he takes, the more suspect he becomes. The facial expressions in the thumbnail tell it all. Jen playing crazy and confused, Christian guilty as hell, Carlos pretending to be sympathetic, knowing they both lying. Wow. Was- She's literally old enough to be his mother. He's not even a good scammer. She needs to be sitting on a couch in a psychiatrist's office, not with Carlos King. She is smiling, knowing everything he is doing is a scam. They are a perfect couple. He be gaslighting her and she just gaslight our ass. Mm. He's so long-winded when Carlos asks him a question because he's lying, lying. Ah. Girl, you like the typewriter? Wait a second. Carlos, have you ever seen his bank statements? Jen, no. Girl, scammer finance interrupts Jen. No, I've showed you my bank statements. Yes. Okay, remember that? Okay. Jen wants to be scammed in peace, so let's leave her alone. Clutching my pearls, Carlos. I have no words seeing this thumbnail. I told him immediately upon meeting about the documentary and addresses her being scammed. She told him immediately. We talked about that, right? She told him immediately upon meeting about the documentary about her being scammed. That's a green flag for a scammer. And he was ready to go knowing you were easy to take advantage of. Mm-mm-mm. And another sign, guys, this is a woman who I'm sure can be very busy when she wants to. This is a lady who met him on the fly. So I guess they were talking or whatever, and they decide to meet. He goes running, scurrying over there to Nobu to meet her. And she nor he had nothing to do for 6 hours. No appointments to reschedule, nothing going on but to be up in each other's faces. That's a red flag for busy people and a man who is busy investing and worth $6 million, which is a nice sum, right? She is not emotionally mature to have an adult relationship. Yeah, she if Jen wanted whatever, Jen is a nice looking woman. She has a certain status and a certain cachet. She's a very beautiful woman. Um she could have what she wants. This is what she wants. She is with the shits. Period. You love the typewriter. That's your favorite by far. Mine too. And this is my look, guys. We're gonna send Jen a little bit of this because we know she's getting married, allegedly. We're gonna give her a little bit of that. We haven't had any Bougie Gang magic in a minute, y'all. I just blessed her with a little bit of Bougie Gang. We wish you the best magic, okay? Only she has to want it, right? She has to want it for herself. We can't do it all, right? She's going to have to want it for herself, but we just sent her a little bit of chin up. Chin up, buttercup, okay? Let me let you guys go. It's getting late. This was fun. Okay? You guys have a wonderful each girl trauma bonding. And then they put that girl out there for potentially trying to end it all rather than flee from it all, right? Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna see you guys next time. This was fun. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful evening. And if you're on the replay, Comment down below and let me know what you think. Is it Jen Run? Is it Jen Sun? Or is it honeymoon loading? Okay. Is it Run? Is that her son or is it honeymoon loading? Girl, it's probably all of them. Okay. Good night, guys. Love you. Love you. Mean it. Do I have an outro over here? Probably not. Let's go. Boom. Have a good night, guys.